My first website is zaptopi.net/treeoctopus, which is known among library students as a good example of a misinformation site. The red-green color scheme in the background and the text is hard on the eyes, and it's nearly impossible for colorblind people to see. Meanwhile, the body paragraph text has been justified, which leaves odd spaces between the words, but the kerning between the letters is still left a regular size, which makes the words seem squished together and harder to read. Finally, there are at least 3 different fonts used here. There's a sans serif block font, a serif block font, and a sans serif regular font, which makes it hard to switch between the text. My second site, theoatmeal.com, is one of my favorite webcomics. The site uses handwriting fonts close to Comic Sans, but importantly, the sizes are big enough that you can read the text without struggling, even though it doesn't have serifs. The site also frequently uses white text on black backgrounds, which provides a high contrast, and because it's not the usual black text on a white background, it draws our eyes more effectively and it makes it easier to read. Finally, there's the use of serif fonts, which are easier to read when it's smaller, and they also help to delineate the business area of the site more from the fun aspects of the site. My final site is Flight of the Conchords' official fan page, flightoftheconchords.co.nz. This site has some of the hardest text to read. It looks really cool, but there's so many fonts in use that it's really hard to transition smoothly from one heading to the next. It's also more challenging because some of the words, like this heading here about the band, are written up and down rather than left and right, which for a visitor who speaks a romantic language is not the natural way we're used to processing text. Finally, if you hover over some of the text, you get this highlighting effect. This not only changes the color of the text, but it also adds more variety to the words you're looking at, which makes it busier and harder to understand.